Thank you for watching the video. Through the story, I invite you to a place of peace and gentle sleep. Please relax and take your time to drift off into a restful slumber.
The Call of Adventure. In a small village nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, the dawn light broke softly over the horizon, illuminating the dewdrops that clung to the blades of grass. The village, with its thatched roof houses and meandering dirt paths, was still wrapped in the embrace of slumber. Among the gentle sounds of nature, a rustling noise echoed softly through the tranquil morning. A young boy named Ren, known for his curious spirit and boundless energy, was the first to awaken. He stepped out of his modest home, feeling the cool morning air against his skin. Ren had always been fascinated by the tales of brave warriors and hidden treasures that his grandfather shared by the fireside. Today, however, the air felt different. A sense of adventure hung around him, beckoning him to explore. As he wandered down the narrow paths, Ren's heart raced with excitement. He had heard whispers of a mystical bamboo forest at the edge of the village, a place where secrets were hidden among the towering stalks and ancient trees. The stories spoke of a magical scroll said to grant immense power to its possessor, and Ren's imagination ran wild with possibilities. When he reached the edge of the bamboo forest, Ren hesitated for a moment, glancing back at the village. The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a golden glow over the rooftops. The forest loomed before him, an enigmatic world filled with towering green stalks that swayed gently in the breeze. With a deep breath, he stepped inside, the sound of crunching leaves beneath his feet breaking the morning silence. The forest was alive with sounds, chirping birds, rustling leaves, and the whisper of the wind. Ren moved deeper, his excitement growing with each step. He followed a narrow path that wound through the bamboo, the sunlight filtering through the leaves and casting intricate patterns on the ground. As he ventured further, he felt as though he were stepping into a realm untouched by time, a place where legends came to life. Suddenly, a rustling sound caught his attention. Ren paused, heart pounding, and turned to see a small fox darting between the bamboo stalks. Its bright eyes seemed to regard him with curiosity, and Ren smiled, feeling a sense of companionship with the creature. "Hey there, little friend," he whispered, crouching down to get a better look. The fox seemed to understand his intentions and approached cautiously, its nose twitching as it sniffed the air. Ren felt a surge of connection to the wildness around him. This was not just a forest, it was a sanctuary filled with life and wonder. He remembered the stories of heroes who had embarked on quests in similar woods, and he felt a spark of determination ignite within him. As he continued deeper into the forest, the bamboo grew denser, creating a natural barrier that seemed to separate him from the outside world. The atmosphere shifted, becoming more mystical with each step. Sunlight flickered through the leaves, casting an ethereal glow around him. It was as if the forest was welcoming him into its embrace, urging him to uncover its secrets. After what felt like an eternity of wandering, Ren stumbled upon a small clearing. In the center stood an ancient stone altar, covered in moss and surrounded by blooming flowers. The air was thick with the scent of blossoms, and a serene calmness enveloped the area. Ren's eyes widened in awe as he approached the altar, feeling a magnetic pull toward it. Atop the altar lay a scroll, intricately decorated with symbols he didn't recognize. It seemed to shimmer in the sunlight, beckoning him closer. Ren's heart raced as he reached out, his fingers brushing against the parchment. The moment he touched it, a surge of energy coursed through him, and the forest around him seemed to awaken. The awakening of power. Ren unrolled the scroll carefully, revealing its intricate illustrations and flowing script. The symbols danced before his eyes, each one pulsating with an ancient magic. It spoke of the history of the village, its guardians, and the trials they faced. As he read, a deep understanding washed over him, and he felt the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. Suddenly, the ground trembled, and Ren glanced around, panic rising within him. The tranquil atmosphere shifted, and dark clouds began to gather above the forest. A menacing presence filled the air, and Ren sensed that he was not alone. Shadows flitted between the trees, and he could feel the eyes of unseen creatures watching him. Without warning, a figure emerged from the darkness, a tall, cloaked man with piercing eyes. He stepped forward, a chilling smile on his lips. "You've found the scroll," he said, his voice low and filled with malice. "Hand it over, and I might spare your life." Ren's heart raced as he clutched the scroll tightly. "No! This belongs to my village," he shouted, his voice steady despite the fear coursing through him. He remembered the stories of bravery and the sacrifices made by the village's guardians, and he knew he could not back down. The cloaked man laughed, a sound devoid of warmth. "You think you can protect them? You're just a child." He lunged toward Ren, but the young boy was quick. With a burst of adrenaline, he dodged to the side and sprinted toward the entrance of the clearing, the scroll clutched to his chest. Ren's instincts kicked in as he navigated the dense bamboo, dodging branches and keeping his focus on escaping the dark figure. The forest that had felt welcoming moments ago now seemed to conspire with him, guiding him through the twisting paths. He could hear the cloaked man's footsteps behind him, growing louder with each passing second. Panic surged within him, but so did determination. He would not let fear take over. As he reached the edge of the clearing, he spotted a narrow path leading deeper into the forest, a path he hadn't noticed before. Without hesitation, he took it, sprinting with all his might. The sound of his heartbeat echoed in his ears as he ran, branches slapping against him and the underbrush tugging at his feet. The weight of the scroll felt heavy, but he was driven by the thought of protecting his village. The cloaked man's laughter echoed behind him, and Ren knew he had to reach safety. After what felt like an eternity of running, Ren finally broke free from the dense bamboo. He stumbled into a small glade, gasping for breath. The sunlight poured down in golden beams, illuminating the area and casting away the shadows. He paused, glancing around, trying to catch his breath and gather his thoughts. In the glade, a wise-looking old turtle rested on a stone, observing him with its ancient eyes. Rin knelt beside it, desperate for guidance. "Please, I need help. There's a dark figure after me, and I have this scroll that could save my village." The turtle blinked slowly, its voice gravelly yet soothing. "Young one, the scroll you possess holds great power, but it also attracts those who seek to misuse it. You must find a way to protect yourself and your village." Rin nodded, determination sparking anew. "What should I do? How can I use this scroll to help my people?" "Seek the spirit of the forest," the turtle advised. "It is wise and knows the way. But remember, bravery comes not just from strength, but from the heart. Trust in yourself, and you will find the answers you seek." With a newfound sense of purpose, Rin thanked the turtle and set off again. The forest felt different now, less menacing and more alive. As he walked, he listened closely to the sounds around him, hoping to find guidance in the whispers of the trees. The spirit of the forest. After wandering for what felt like hours, Rin finally stumbled upon a tranquil pond, its surface reflecting the azure sky above. The water shimmered invitingly, and he knelt beside it, hoping to catch a glimpse of something extraordinary. As he peered into the depths, the image of a graceful, ethereal figure emerged, the spirit of the forest. "Greetings, brave child," the spirit spoke, her voice like a gentle breeze rustling through the leaves. "I have been watching you, and I sense the weight of your journey. What troubles you?" Rin's heart swelled with awe. "I found this scroll, but a dark figure is after me. I want to protect my village, but I don't know how to use its power." The spirit smiled softly, her luminous presence illuminating the area. "The scroll indeed holds great power, but it can only be wielded by one with a brave heart and a pure spirit. You must first prove your worthiness." "How can I prove myself?" Rin asked, his voice trembling with determination. "Face your fears and conquer the darkness within," the spirit instructed. "You must journey to the heart of the forest, where the ancient tree stands. It is there you will find the strength you seek." With a nod of understanding, Rin set off toward the heart of the forest, guided by the spirit's words. The path grew narrower, the trees more imposing, but he pressed on, determination fueling his every step. Along the way, he faced various challenges, overcoming his fear of the dark, navigating treacherous terrain, and confronting illusions that sought to lead him astray. Each challenge tested his resolve, but with each obstacle he faced, Rin grew stronger. The forest seemed to respond to his bravery, guiding him through the darkness. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of trials, he reached a clearing dominated by a massive, ancient tree. Its trunk was thick and gnarled, its branches reaching high into the sky like the arms of a guardian. As he approached the tree, Rin felt a surge of energy emanating from it. He placed his hand on the rough bark and closed his eyes, allowing the power of the forest to flow through him. In that moment, he understood his connection to the land, to the village he loved, and to the spirit of the forest itself. "Embrace your courage," the trees seemed to whisper. "Your heart is your greatest weapon." With newfound strength, Ren stood tall. He felt the scroll pulsating in his hand, its power resonating with his own. He was ready to face the cloaked figure and protect his village. The final confrontation. Ren made his way back through the forest, determination guiding him as he clutched the scroll tightly. He could feel the energy coursing through him, and with each step, he felt more attuned to the spirit of the forest. The time had come to confront the dark figure who threatened everything he held dear. As he approached the edge of the bamboo forest, the air grew heavy with anticipation. Ren could see the cloaked figure lurking in the shadows, waiting for him. With a deep breath, he stepped forward, heart racing but resolute. "You won't take the scroll from me," he declared, his voice steady. The cloaked man's eyes gleamed with malice as he took a step closer. "You think you can stop me, child? Hand over the scroll, and I may yet spare you." "No. I will protect my village with every ounce of strength I have," Ren shouted, feeling the power of the scroll surge within him. With that, he unfurled the scroll, and ancient symbols glowed brightly, illuminating the area around them. The cloaked figure faltered, surprise etched on his face as Ren began to recite the incantation inscribed on the scroll. The air crackled with energy, and a protective barrier formed around him, shimmering with light. The dark figure snarled, drawing closer. "You think your childish magic can protect you? I will take what is rightfully mine." But Ren stood firm, his voice growing stronger as he recited the words. "With the strength of the forest, I summon the power to protect what I love." The barrier intensified, pushing back against the dark energy emanating from the cloaked man. In that moment, Ren realized that his true strength lay not only in the magic of the scroll, but in his unwavering determination to protect his village. The energy from the scroll merged with his own, amplifying his resolve and illuminating the space around him. "Your darkness has no place here," he shouted, channeling all his courage into the incantation. The ground trembled as the light expanded, enveloping the cloaked figure. Ren could feel the presence of the spirit of the forest by his side, guiding him as he faced the darkness head-on. With a final surge of energy, the light erupted from the scroll, pushing the dark figure back into the shadows. A piercing scream echoed through the forest as the cloaked man vanished into the depths of darkness, defeated by the combined power of Ren's bravery and the magic of the scroll. As the light faded, Ren collapsed to his knees, breathless but victorious. The forest around him returned to its serene state, the whispers of the trees celebrating his triumph. The scroll lay before him, its power still shimmering, but he knew that the true victory was in his heart. A legacy of courage. In the days that followed, Ren returned to his village as a hero. The villagers gathered to celebrate, their hearts filled with gratitude for the brave young boy who had protected them from darkness. They honored Ren's courage and the power of the scroll, realizing that true strength came from love and unity. Every year, the village held a festival in honor of Ren's bravery, celebrating the bond between the people and the forest. Children listen eagerly to the stories of their hero, inspired to follow in his footsteps and protect their home. Ren's heart swelled with pride as he watched the villagers come together, knowing that his journey had only just begun. He vowed to continue learning from the forest and to always protect the village he loved. The spirit of the forest remained by his side, guiding him as he grew into a guardian of peace and courage. The legend of Ren, the boy with quiet footsteps and a brave heart, would be told for generations to come, a reminder that true bravery lies not just in strength, but in the love we have for one another.